Hello, StarCraft fans. We are back with another match in the round of 16. It's my boy Snow facing off versus Barracks. Snow's gone back-to-back championships in the StarCastTV Star League, but he's kind of been struggling lately. I actually think Barracks has got a decent shot versus him. Let's take a look at our bracket. We did see JYJ beat Shine 3-2. Very close series. There were points in that series where I thought Shine could win. Snow versus Barracks, if you had asked me what the result was going to be a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have told you it's a 3-0 without a doubt. But Barracks has done very, very well recently. Really had a great showing in the ASL, and Snow has looked kind of vulnerable these days. So I think there's potential for Barracks to win, but I'm still going with my boy here. I think it's going to be a 3-1 actually, but we'll see if that's the case. Looks like the screen's a little bit messed up right now. Looks like Cruiser's going to fix it real quick. So let's take a look at our map picks. It's going to be Kickback, Deja Vu, Minstrel, Pantheon, and Monty Hall. Overall, I think these maps are pretty decent for Barracks. I'm not the biggest fan of Kickback. Well, actually, I think Kickback is actually a great map for Barracks in particular because he loves to do pushes. So any map where I think he's got a good shot of winning like pre-20 minutes, I think he's going to be good on. And this is one of those maps where you're mining out your bases before 20 minutes. So I think actually, even though Snow picked this could be a Barracks win. The rest of the maps look pretty standard. Of course, Monty Hall is kind of unusual. I don't know if I really like Barracks there versus Snow in particular because it feels like the game's going to get weird, and I think Snow's probably going to excel on that map. But maps 2, 3, and 4 look pretty standard. So let's just get into game 1 and see who's going to come out on top. Okay, so in the bottom left, back-to-back champion of Season 1 and Season 2, we've got Snow. And in the top left, he's been doing really well these days. It's Barracks. And what's great about Barracks is when we saw him play ASL, he played a couple of cheese builds, like some pretty crazy builds like the Proxy on Pantheon. So even though I think Barracks' strongest build is his gasless expand into, 50 SCVs, like 5, 6, 7 fact timing on 2 bases. He's pretty dangerous, with the early game shenanigans too. And with it being Kickback, it's kind of up in the air in terms of what build order players want to go for. Both players obviously know you can be excessively greedy on this map, but at the same time, if you're too greedy, all of a sudden build orders like BBS, build orders like, I guess, 2 fact could become viable. Now, what's this? Is this a 10-10-10? I mean, it has to be a 10-10-10, right? Because he's missed his SCV. This isn't me playing. There's no way that he mistakenly missed building his depot. So it's going to be a 10-10-10. And another thing to point out about Kickback is these rush distances are really close. I think the first game I played, somebody did like a 10-10-10 versus me when he was Terran, and I was like, holy smokes, your units are like at my base basically immediately. And it was also vertical spawns like this. So this 10-10-10, not only is it going to be really fast, but it's going to be at the entry point very, very quickly. Snow, I hope he puts down gas, because if this is Zealot expand, I ain't gonna lie, I think he's already dead. He needs gas, man. He needs gas ASAP. If this is Zealot Nexus, is this stoppable? Okay, there we go. 2-minute gas. All right. So I'm guessing that this could be 2 Zealots. I don't think you're going to be able to line up your cybernetics with the first Zealot. Well, 100% you're not going to be able to. So I'm guessing this is going to be 2 Zealot pressure. And I don't really think Barracks is going to take a lot of damage here. He's got his factory in a good position. Barracks is in a good position. The building, I mean. I will say his Sim City, I thought his factory would be right up against that depot. but it wasn't. So, I mean, the Zealot may be able to get in and get some damage done. For me, the stream froze. Let me reload it. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm back. I see the Zealot. I was also downloading something on Steam, so I canceled that. We got the first Zealot into the main. Good micro so far, taking no hits. Doing the merry-go-round around the depot. And Zealot, you know, didn't get any damage done, but it at least forced... Oh, he went back in. I was going to say he's going to escape without taking any damage onto the actual health of the Zealot. This micro is incredible, by the way. Really fantastic. That Zealot has done no damage, not even a single hit. And now... I mean, you would assume Snow probably can understand that this must have been an early gas. And I think putting down the third depot, or not third depot, third pylon. Actually, is he supply blocked? Okay, he's supply blocked. That's why he put down a third pylon. What's that? Is that a robo? Okay, so he knows. Oh, whoa, wait. He canceled range to go robo. I don't know if I like this. If he goes for a 2-tank push, I think that this is going to hit before Observer gets out. Well, maybe not before Observer gets out, because now I'm seeing that the add-on is taking quite a while, but he's not going to have range, that's for sure. If this is like, if he goes like Mihu style, where I'm sure everybody here has watched some BSL games of Mihu, where Mihu, yeah, literally just builds non-stop Marines. If he goes up into like 10 Marines, even with one tank, he may be able to just push through. It's just a single gate, no range, single pylon. There's no, oh my god, and he spent 400 minerals on a Nexus. There's no way this is Reaver. I think this has to be Observer. And he needs a Reaver. Please be Support Bay. Support Bay? He's waiting for money, so he may actually be Support Bay. Nope, he's mega dead. He's so dead right now. If Snow holds this, I don't even know what to say. I legitimately will be speechless. This is like 9 Marines, 1 tank, 1 Vulture, and your gateway is right there. It is a 2-fact. If he kills the gate, it's over, right? I mean, the game's done. Oh, he even killed the pylon. He's got 2 SCVs here also. We'll see a pylon. All right, that was easy. Now we just walk in. There's also nothing to drill on, by the way. Oh, actually, there is something to drill on. Those mineral patches right there. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Wait a second here. All the Vultures died. There's still 1 tank and 5 Marines, though. There's no Observer just yet. There's still no range. But he did critically keep 3 of his Dragoons alive. Oh, that's dangerous. That is dangerous. Oh, the drill. Did he overcommit? No, never mind. He did not overcommit. Oh, the tank. Marines need to focus down these pros, man. The pros are doing crazy damage. How low is that Dragoon? I didn't realize that he actually got down another gateway down here. Wow, this goon that has no range, by the way. Just 1 Vulture, though. Barracks is floating a lot of money, by the way. Like, he's got enough for another command center. If he was able to, you know, say build a command center while all of this happening, oh, he just GG's. Okay, I actually thought that a Dragoon would pop out and he might be able to hold, but that was a slick build from Barracks there. I was talking about how the rush distances are so close, and you know, this is a map where players do play extremely greedy. Snow, even though it was not, you know, Zealot Nexus, cutting range going into the Nexus off of just 2 Zealots and a Goon, I mean, that is pretty greedy and got punished pretty hard. So, quick win for Barracks. You know, I actually do think Terran has good maps here with Deja Vu and Pantheon. So let's get into game 2. If Barracks was to win here, this would be a massive upset. Okay, so in the top right, we do have Barracks, and meanwhile, in the bottom right, we do have Snow. So we did see in ASL, I can't remember if it was Gas's opener. I think it was Barracks versus Bisu on here. I'm pretty sure it was Gas's because I was just talking about how many units Barracks actually had. And even though this game was technically played before ASL, I think that it's too obvious. Okay, sorry, let me reword this. I think that it's obvious that Barracks is going to gasless expand here. So if I'm Snow, I think he should forward gate. I think forward gate is the way to play here. 4-player map. Barracks loves to gasless expand. But he's not going to go for it. He's just going to build pylon right next to his Nexus. If Barracks does something like another 10-10-10, okay, well, he's not. But if he was to do something like that, I would be very surprised to see that. I think he's got, even though he hasn't scouted yet, I think another good aggressive build that he could go for is some type of, factory expand instant starport. He's got good spawns for it where he would directly fly into the main. But at the same time, Snow is just such a great defensive player that if you go for a drop and it does no damage, to say you're dead is an understatement. I mean, you're mega dead. Like, you're just instantly dead. He'll take another base, he'll go carriers, and there's absolutely no counterplay. But Snow is actually going for what I think is kind of an unusual play. He's going to go for Nexus first. So, despite knowing he's playing versus a player that loves to go gasless expand, he ends up going for Nexus first himself, which is fine versus gasless, obviously. But it will leave him open to something like this, which is going to be the 11 gas. I think this was 11 gas. It could have been 12. Ooh, probe? Interesting. He's actually going to cross scout. Now, we've seen players go for cross scouts with their probes a decent amount of the time. So I think Barracks was a little misled here, thinking that it was a cross scout interception, but it actually is just Protoss is at bottom right. And Barracks desperately needed to see that this was a 12 Nexus. Now that he's not going to see it, what's his response going to be? I think the chances of him going to bottom right with his second scout is pretty low. So I think this is all of a sudden going to go from a first scout to a last scout, which is terrible. Snow's going to have massive eco. You're facing versus a guy who loves to go carriers, so massive eco, carrier lover. I don't see how there's going to be really any opportunity to punish Snow at any point in this game. It kind of feels like Snow's already just running away with the game. So Barracks needs to come up with something special here, whether it's he's going to do like an FD or something here to punish this guy. But he still doesn't know about the 12 Nexus, and it was a safe 12 Nexus. Despite not even getting scouted, he still opted to go into the 2 gate. I'm looking at supply for Snow. He did only build 1 Zealot, so he didn't necessarily go for the super safe opener, but 1 Zealot is still more than enough to be good versus a non-scouted 12 Nexus. Okay, and now Barracks sees the bad news. This is where you really wish you had the camera on him, because you know they are not happy about this. He even built a 4th Marine because he wanted to play safe here, not building a bunker. But these 4 Marines really aren't going to help him. He really wishes that he had only had 2 at this point. Get that command center down a little bit quicker, but here comes the first vulture. Alright, now how many kills can he get? He's got to be able to get a couple, right? Like, there was a double gap. No, he only gets 1. I mean, getting 1 is okay. My opinion, you really need to get at least like 2 or 3, but 1 at least you've killed it, you've gotten a little bit of damage done, and you forced, probes off the mineral line. But he's still at a huge deficit. That's going to be the robo right there. And with this type of build order, I really don't think he needs to go into Observer. And there we go. There's going to be the punish. He's going to try and go for the starport, but I don't think that Snow's going to, cut goons. I think he's going to play overly defensively like he usually does. Have a lot of goons at the natural. Have some goons in the main. I don't think that this is going to work. Also, I do want to point out that this was like a 420 starport. So this is kind of slowish, actually. And already pylons are getting into position to try and set up, a wall in to prevent probe damage. Now, I like the probe at top left, but for some reason, this is actually going to get immediately killed, which doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know why that went up there, But that was actually a good pickoff because I think, in my experience watching a lot of pro games, Protoss players don't really expand up there that quickly, and Terran players also don't really scout there that often. So if he could have gone and gotten that Nexus, I think it most likely would have been unscouted versus the majority of players. Now we've got a small engagement here, but this is why you don't attack with small units into Snow, because he took no damage there, no mines connected, didn't even kill the Zealot, so the Zealot's still alive to clear out mines. Now there's still a lot of Dragoons, and you can see that they're already getting into position in the main. So this really needs to do a lot of damage. It cannot be that it unloads and kills like 1, 2, 3, 4 probes. It needs to kill, I would say, at least like 7. There's just no opening though. This is what Snow does to you. There's no, and it's an immediate reaction. Like, it was so fast, it like makes me question if he even saw it. Like, he just pounces on it as soon as it's in vision. Like, he just knew it was coming. Yeah, now he goes into second factory. But you know what would absolutely just kill Terran right now? Is if he went for shuttle with 4 Zealots and just bombed on him. You know that the dropship's out in the map, which means all you have to do is really deal with 1 factory, maybe like rallied tank in 1 bunker. Oh, he is just going to attack. So the Vultures are completely out of position. This could be a game-ending attack right here. I'm not even going to lie. The SCVs need to repair this bunker. 2's not enough, man. That thing's dead. Oh, it's not dead. Wow. I guess he was in range of the bunker, so he's going to pull back for now. I still do think that a Zealot bomb would have ended this game. Okay. But the damage, not very much. Ooh, you're too far forward. Oh, actually, that was decent damage. This is one of the few times that I think Snow overstepped. He's not going to get super punished for it. Like, yes, he's going to lose his 1 goon and take damage on the rest of them. Luckily for him, it's a 12 Nexus, because if it wasn't, and this was a closer game, Snow could have actually lost a lot. Now, I do want to point out that Snow's 3rd Nexus there's no way around it. It's really late. Also, he floated a lot of money during all this. His gateway count is low. There's no Citadel. His Forge is late. His Reaver is late. Despite having 12 Nexus, he's only up 2 workers. Not sure exactly where he messed up, but this is not as far ahead as I thought he was going to be. Now, we do know that Vultures were out in the field. We were only paying attention to the goons, or at least I was only paying attention to the goons. Maybe there was some type of harassment that I missed, but I really don't think I did. So actually, I would say Barracks is in somewhat of an okay position. I mean, unfortunately for him, he's playing versus the best Protoss versus Terran player in history. So it's, you know, unfortunate in that sense. But I think there is a world, if Snow does mess up, that Barracks could actually come back. Now, it looks like Snow's going to double expand here. 4th Nexus potentially going down at bottom middle. Not even convinced that there's actually a Reaver in there. Okay, well, now we know that there's a Reaver coming. And this drop is gonna sneak into the main. The pylon actually, I don't think, had vision. And the goons are out of position. Whoa, this could actually do a lot of damage. Luckily, there's a Reaver. He gets 1, is that it? And he saves the dropship. Oh, he needs to get to that 3rd. Oh, he repaired it from earlier, so he actually was able to save it. Okay, now he loses it, but he unloads 3 Vultures here. Okay, this was a great drop. 4 probe kills in total. 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, that was fantastic. He gets 8 kills. He's gone into like a 5 or 6 fact follow-up. You can see he's actually very close in supply now. He just needs, I think he just put down his command center. I can see it at the corner of his base. So actually, Barracks, I think this is one of those games where he can actually get to mid and late game. Snow's not gone into any like crazy tech. There's no arbiters. There's no carriers just yet. There's nothing to really worry about. I do also want to point out Snow like I said, something was off with his build because everything's like so slow. Look at his gas, 1,200 gas. So of course, once he gets the Templar Archive up, he'll be able to put down a lot of Templar or build a lot of Templars all at once. But to be floating 1,500 gas when there really hasn't been much happening, that's a bit unusual. Looks like that was most likely the 6th factory. Another command, or sorry, not another command center. That command center is about to finish, and we'll be landing at a top middle pretty soon. This is deja vu, where, in my opinion, if Terran can sit on the high ground, get their 3rd base, and let's say Barracks can get top left natural, that's 4 bases without having to move very far. Also, Snow did what, I say you shouldn't do on maps like Radion, which is he expanded to a position which is easily pushable and also allows Terran to easily defend their bases. He's taken mid-right. I really wish that Snow had taken bottom left instead of mid-right as his 3rd base and potentially starting to try and split. But I guess he's maybe thinking okay, I got away with 12 Nexus. The likelihood of you being able to push is pretty low. So I'll just mine out as much as possible at mid-right because you probably want to expand there. That may be the logic. At some point, maybe if he feels like he can't save it, just sack it. And then he'll still have all these fresh bases at bottom left. I mean, that makes perfect sense to me. Double Wraith. So a decent amount of anti-air with the double Wraith, but no Goliath just yet. And Terran is on the move. Terran, I still can't get over how close the supplies are. Ooh, that goon's gonna die. And also, the science facility wasn't exactly the fastest I've ever seen, but Barracks is definitely going for a 14 or 15 minute timing, so it didn't really need to be fast. I think it's still gonna line up pretty much perfectly with his push at around 14, 15 minutes. +2 upgrade, I mean. Is Protoss really gonna go in? No way, right? Really not that much for Protoss. It's a decent amount of zealots, but not that many. There's also not very many Dragoons here, so it's not like the command center's gonna die. Is it really just 4 goons? Am I seeing that correctly? If these goons die, actually the shuttle can die. That's a lot of damage. He even loses a Reaver. That's so unorthodox for Snow. He's gonna lose a 2nd Reaver. What is going on? Now, at the same time, Terran did lose a decent chunk of supply. Instead of it being, within 10, now it's a 30 supply lead, which is quite a lot, to be fair. But Terran's going to get this 3rd base. However, Protoss has their 4th base already up and running. I do see he's in position to put down a 5th base. We have a couple of scans going off. He sees more units getting into position, but I don't think Protoss can commit here. I think this is suicide if he comes in. There's no more shuttle. There's no more... I mean, the chokes are pretty tiny. And running into spider mines is going to be nuts. Now, by the way, this is double robo all the way. Okay, he finds a vulnerable spot. There's no mines right here. All the tanks are at the top side. Is the bunker still full? Okay, if the bunker's still full, all you can really do is get these turrets. I think, yeah. I was about to say, if you jump on those tanks, that seems like suicide, man. I would say that was worthwhile because the eBay is nice to have. No more turrets for a while, and he got rid of the turrets at this choke point. So all of a sudden, if he just runs shuttles directly through that angle, I think he could do a decent amount of damage in the main. Now I'm waiting to see the storm drop. Also, I do want to point out that Terran has not really had their tank count reset at all. So Terran's going to be approaching 20 to 30 tanks pretty soon. There's 4 right there. I saw 1 on high ground. He's got 8 at top middle. So I mean, he probably only needs maybe 2 more minutes to get 20 tanks. That should also be a great timing for his move out. Okay, yeah, he does have the +2, like I was saying, hitting around 14 to 15 minutes, but since he's not maxed yet, he may wait now for +3. It's so annoying to get up this ramp as Terran, though. Storms are going to be so deadly. You're going to have to be very, very careful. E-Matrix? E-Matrix would be great right here. There it is. Baiting out those Boons and Templars. Wow, he baited out a lot of Storms. He's going to lose 2 tanks. But I think losing 2 tanks for that amount of high tier tech units is pretty nice. Cruiser pointing out the random Zealots in the center of the map. Hopefully Protoss can find those, because he's going to need that with his army. Right now he's maxed, but this is not going to work. He's probably wondering, like, why is my army so tiny? Loses the Archon pretty much instantly. And now this is... Ooh, Reaver. He gets it. This is what I was talking about. Protoss' third base is, like, so close. Now Terran's on high ground, or could be on high ground. He should be able to put... Oh, well, what's he doing? I don't like this. Yeah, get over on high ground, man. Get on the right side. Don't go through the center. There's still a lot of Zealots, and now he's found that group of Zealots. There's not a lot of goons. If there's a minefield, I don't think that he can really save mid-right. Now, the army of Terran does look pretty tiny. I'm curious where all his supply is. That's a decent amount of tanks. What's that, like 14, 15? Something like that. And it's still pure Zealot. Only Zealots? He's going to get shredded. That is so many Zealots. Is Snow going to give up high ground? So not only has he given up high ground, he's got basically pure Zealot. Okay, here we go. He's going to go before the Zealots, before all the mines get set up. That's a good storm. Zealots, get on top of some of the tanks. Okay, that's a great storm. Gets a bunch of the tanks that are clumped up. But again, it's a good trade for Barracks. I guess the question for me, though, is yes, Barracks has a great push going right now, but how much longer can this last? I was going to get transferred. Actually be able to get away towards bottom left. But you got to remember, even though Snow's not having great trades here, it's still 6 base. Terran's only on 3. I don't even see a command center. Those tanks are all very low also. He needs to bring like 5 or 6 SCVs so that he can repair. And he surprisingly didn't kill mid-right. I really can't believe that he didn't take that out. But I do like that he's now laying a lot of mines. I do like that now finally Protoss is building some more Dragoons here. There we go. There's some SCVs to repair. Or is it just turrets? All right, well, turrets are great too, but would love to see the repair. Not that many Goliaths, and there's really not that many shuttles. I'm surprised that the shuttle count is so low. Well, he definitely needs to get 1 tank in range of mid-right. There's no reason to not get a tank over there and just shell the Nexus. It's free damage, potentially free probe kills. Terran should have +3 now. Protoss is, despite having so many bases, is kind of in trouble, I ain't gonna lie. Wraith and Goliath's gonna try and shield these tanks. Is there a Templar in here? No Templar. The Matrix goes off. Maybe this tank will survive. Nope, ends up losing its life. But with reinforcements here, this base is going to die. So I guess this was the game plan all along. You see that Snow didn't even transfer his workers at all. He's just like, you know what? Doesn't matter. I'm just going to mine out as much as possible. Oh, actually, he does unload some stuff. He's still trying to save it. I think he should have loaded up his probes right there. I mean, there's a lot of probes. There's like 15 probes here. Like, this is going to be a big loss. So everything here is going to die. Actually, Protoss is in trouble, man. It's even supply. Terran has gotten top left up and running. He even transferred workers over there, by the way. And Protoss isn't even counterattacking. He's not even sending DPs or something to make the game weird. It's still just gateways. Terran has the +3 upgrade like I talked about. I really do think Protoss needs to, yeah, counter, man. Counter top middle or top left. If he can take down top left, Terran will, oh, Mind Drag! It was almost beautiful. Still gonna get a lot of damage though. Oh, one of the Reavers died. Another D Matrix? No. Oh, he got the Reaver! I actually thought that Protoss was gonna win the battle, but now he's lost that battle. The contain is massive. Terran can now just start swooping around and killing bases. There's not that many gateways on the left side. No way Protoss can get out of the contain. And Barracks is starting to take the center also, so he wants this base as his 5th base. These goons are dead. Looks like these goons are going to be annoying at top left, but I don't really think that's going to, you know, do that much damage. Probably like just a handful of vultures could kill that. Wow, is he really going to lose this base? Okay, this base is going to die. All of a sudden, Snow's on just 2 base mining with only 48 workers. So this Nexus is probably going to die unless there's a great storm on the high ground. No movement at all from any of the units in the main. So this Nexus is dead. There's the vultures going to top left that I talked about. So I think that these goons are going to get shut down. Yeah, I mean, these are +3 vultures. Like, they're going to shred these. That Nexus is gone. Now he swoops down to bottom middle. Okay, you can see that Snow's desperate now. He's going to finally try and bust out of the contain. But at the same time, Terran's on the move. He's saying, well, okay, you're going to bust out of the contain. Oh, he EMPs it. That's how desperate he is. But that's going to put Protoss on 1 base mining. Looks like this attack at the natural. Wow, that Nexus blew up so quick. He just GG'd out. I guess he lost a lot in that engagement, and I can't believe it. 2-0 for Barracks? Is this real life? Okay. I mean, I talked about it in the beginning. Kickback's a good map for Terran. I said Deja Vu was great. I won't lie, I'm not the biggest fan of Minstrel as a Terran player, but it is a 2-player map. If you think about what Barracks' strengths are, he's really good at pushing. This is a map where you definitely don't want to go to late game. There's so many cliffs. So I could see him going for like a 6 or 7 fact push here and just try and end it. Here we go, top right, or sorry, not top right, bottom right, we've got Barracks. And in the top left, actually 1 game away from being eliminated, which is nuts, it's Snow. And so Snow's just build orders just don't seem really on point. Like the cut the range to go robo, even though he saw that it was a fast factory on kickback, was strange. His Zealots did no damage and took a lot of damage, so he's actually very vulnerable to a counter, and he did get punished. And now, you know, I was pointing it out last game, floating 1,500 gas. You know, yes, I realize you can build, you know, 10 Templars at once, but if you're floating that much gas, that means you really weren't prioritizing your minerals, which is probably why supplies were so close, worker counts were so close, and also why his 3rd Nexus was so late. It really does look like Snow's a little bit off today. Hopefully he can get it together, because I think everybody knows that Snow's by far my favorite Protoss player. Like, there's Snow, and then there's a massive gap between 2nd place. So hopefully he can do something here. He's going to gas steal, which is going to be super annoying. And Barracks in response has gone for a 10 rack. So if there was proxy gate shenanigans, he would have very quick Marine to deal with it. There's the gas steal. And we do have, it's not necessarily a forward gate, but it's pretty much as forward as you can get without it being a forward gate. And there's the typical Snow harassment. SCV's already down to half health. Very annoying. Now that SCV, well, I was going to say, it's taken a pattern or a path that I thought is going to be for like a BBS. But I think because of how many potential proxy positions there are on this map, I think he was just scouting. And now that, oh, well, he's turning around now. What's he doing? Is it going to be a 2nd Rax? There's no way, right? I mean, he scouted everything. I guess he didn't scout everything. Okay, now he confirms that, hey, there's no... Well, he came back. I'm kind of confused. Maybe he's going to go up here? Go up onto the high ground? Okay, I'm not too sure what the purpose of the scouting is. Obviously, obviously he's looking for the gate, right? But what I mean is, like, he was all the way to the bridge. If he had gone into the main, he would have saw if there was a gate or not, right? So if you see there's a gate, obviously there's no proxy gate, right? I mean, you were so close. Now we've done this, like, loop around that's taken us, you know, a minute to get all the way back to the main. In the end, like, it's not the hugest of deals. It's just something I'm thinking about as the game progresses. I guess it also does keep its SCV hidden, which does trigger Protoss to start scouting for a second Rax. You can see that he sent something down the bottom left to look for it. So there's also that type of mind game. So in the end, if Barracks was going for a mind game here, I think it's okay. If he was scouting for the proxy racks or for the proxy gate, it's not my favorite move. Now the SCVs are going to take down this gas. We're going to get that up and running in just a second. And I think Barracks only has 4 Marines, so actually 2 Zealots should win this battle. Ooh, and we're in. Well, good luck, Barracks. No Sim City. Actually, what? Wow. Miss Micro from Snow once again loses a Zealot, not necessarily for free, but pretty freaking fast. These SCVs are here also, and that's an extremely low Zealot. Like, the SCVs can now kill it. Body, okay, wow, he just punched him right in his face. But overall, I'm not sure if this was worth. Like, yes, he forced 3 SCVs off the line, but if you look at the worker count, pretty much, just balances out that. And these Zealots, they could have been used later on, but instead they're just going to die. He does get in and see the factory timing. And I think that Snow could actually, like, double expand off of this if he wanted, because of how late the factory is. Okay, he goes for Proxy Robo. Alright, so this is going to be extremely quick. If Barracks actually goes straight Vulture, which would be unlikely, by the way, because of how the build orders have unfolded, but if he does, there could be a case where there's 0 tanks in the main. Oh my gosh. He needs to find this ASAP. There's no defense for it. Like, he's gotten rid of all of the Zealots. Like, he could go kill it with his Marines, but he has to know that it's there. I am very happy to see that Barracks is at least trying to scout for it, but I unfortunately don't think he's going to find it. Refact? Yep, Refact. We saw this last season in games where Terran players got gas stolen, specifically on Blitz. I think Rush and Sharp both went 3 fact. In fact, I think Sharp even went 4 fact, which was pretty crazy. Support bay. You knew it was going to be immediate support base, so this is going to do a ton of damage. There's going to be no mines. There might be 1 tank. There's going to be no turrets either. Like, this is so fast. Now, he does see that the Goon still has no range, which is interesting, right? Because we're at 6:15 into the game. You would expect it to have range even after a 3 Zealot opener. So he should know that this was a Rush Robo or Rush something type of tech, whether it's DT or Stargate. I guess it could also be Stargate, because Snow doesn't generally go DTs. But yeah, alarm bells need to be going off that this is probably likely a very, very fast Robo. And he is on the move with his 7 Marines, 1 tank, and there's only 2 Goons out. Can they hold the line is the question. So far, I think they've done maximum damage. Like, they've gotten a couple of pot shots off, and he just barely misses the Robo. Now, I guess the question now is, does Snow turn around to try and save his base with the Reaver? I think he has to, right? Like, what? He's actually going to try and base trade with this. It's just a single Reaver. There's no Zealot. There's no Goon. There's no vision either. There's no Observer here. So these Goons can't really engage, can they? Oh, man, he's in. Oh, he's in. And Barracks, no reaction. Oh, my gosh. That's already like 5 kills. Oh, 3 more. Oh my gosh, that connects too. Devastating damage. 3 more. And the tank is still alive, but it doesn't matter. The tank by itself can't win the game. This was insane damage. So this was a great call to just turn or just send the Reaver into the main. Oh. A couple more. And he gets vultures. And he's gonna get 1 more. Of course he has 2 more SCVs at the end. Well, so much for that 3 factory build, because I don't think you can even support 3 factory Vulture now. This is a unlosable game for Snow. Like it can't be done. That was just ridiculous damage. And now what do you do as Barracks? He's gonna just probably rally across the map, because that's all he can really do. If he tries to play the game any longer, Preuss is gonna have more Reapers, more Goons. Oh, look at that Reaper. He's like, hello, I don't even need a shuttle. See you, Vultures. 2 more gone. Of course, it's a Snow Reaper, man. It's like Flash SCVs. The Flash SCVs always bounce in the right direction to avoid Zealots. Snow Reavers always last long enough to get off a final shot. And now, all Snow needs to do is literally 6-7 gate Goon Zealot Citadel, Goon Zealot with speed, or Goon with speed Zealots, and the game's over. There's no way that he just microed like that and nothing connected. Complete wall. This can't do any damage. I think you can just A move with the Goons and the Observer. I really do. I think the game would just end. There's no mines, there's no tank, there's no siege mode. Instead he just wants to kill these. He literally waits until the last second to avoid the mines. It's so crazy. It is so absurd. Well, at least that means that we're going to get a series on our hands. Instead of it being a 3-0, we will at least go to 2-1. So there's still the dream of the 3-2. Barracks is recovering his worker count as best as he can, but Snow's going to have his 3rd base in a second. He's doubling the workers pretty much. He's doubling the supply also. And the army value is just so weak. It's just Vultures, basically. Vultures and 2 tanks. Like, who cares? Island walls are the counter. Oh, he's going to catch 2 more tanks for free? No way. Oh, yeah, he's just like, screw this, man, I'm out. This game's been too much of a disaster, and I can't blame him for that. So there we go. Snow puts the point on the board, and it will go to 2-1. But we will have another good map for Terran, in my opinion. Pantheon. You know, I think that I've not done very well on Pantheon, but people tell me that this is the best map that Terran has. So let's get into Game 4. This could potentially be the last game of the series. And in the top left, we do have Barracks once again. And in the top right, finally getting a win there on Minstrel, we've got Snow. Now we saw similar spawns to this in ASL. Was it Barracks versus Snow? It was, wasn't it? I think he was actually the person that he played against, now that I'm remembering. Except the spawns were reversed here. Instead of Barracks being top left, Barracks was top right. So I guess the chances of this being a hidden 2-fact is probably unlikely, but we'll see what happens. Now I think that it's time for the gasless play. We've gone 3 games without any gasless. That's my opinion, Barracks' bread and butter build. We've got to pull it out at least once in this best of 5, right? And once again, I think Snow has opportunity here to go for forward gate, have a great opener. If he thinks that it could be anything else other than gasless, then I think 12 Nexus is also great here. So 12 Nexus just in general versus gasless is fine. So maybe that's the move, but instead he, once again, opts for a normal gateway. Barracks has his Barracks very close to the entrance. I really do think that this is going to be the gasless. I really do. I think he queued up 1 more SCV, so we still need a few more seconds to figure out whether this is going to be the 12 gas. Oh, he queued up another one. Okay, so here we go. We're finally going to get the gasless expand. This is what I've been waiting for, and this is just such a strong build for Barracks, and also with it being Pantheon, where he can get onto high ground at top middle, and then have that cliff behind the natural to, you know, if he can actually push that far, just shred the mineral line. this really looks like the dream scenario for Barracks. Now, what is Snow going to do in response? He still hasn't found him yet. I think that if he cuts range again, that could be good, because the range isn't really going to give you much versus the gasless expand. Like, what are you going to do? Force repair? I mean, Terran players have gotten so good at that they don't care about, you know, that minimal amount of damage. But on the other hand, skipping that range, rushing that robo, and getting an immediate reaver, well, I all of a sudden could see that doing a considerable amount of damage. We got the first Zealot out. Actually, there's a third SCV. Like, oh, that's not a third SCV. That's a Marine. I was like, wow, did he send out a third SCV? Okay, whoa. We've got a hybrid build here. What was that, like a 19 gas? And Probe didn't get in, so he doesn't know that this is a hybrid build. I guess this was in response to the Zealot, right? Like, he knows that his command center is going to be delayed, so you might as well just build the refinery and, you know, additional Marines to make sure that the Zealot doesn't do any damage, and then just get a later command center. I think that was probably the logic. I guess I would have to rewatch the replay to see when he triggered the gas. But at the same time, I do know that, you know, 17, 18, 19 gas is a build that every now and then pro gamers do mix in. Players specifically like Amp will do that sometimes. And I still don't think Snow really knows what's going on. So most likely this is just going to be rain. Well, maybe not, because he's floating a lot of gas once again. Did he get range already? He already has 300 gas. It is spinning. Okay, so he does have range coming, and he will have the gas for the robo. Yeah, you know, as I was saying it out loud, I was thinking, like, yeah, this looks normal to me. Because it is. And there's the first factory. Command center is going to finish in just a second. And what's the tech going to be? I mean, you assume it's robo, right? But I guess it doesn't have to be. And SCV just scouting for some hidden tech. Won't find it at top middle. But I do like the idea to make sure that he's not caught off guard. And SCV is just going to walk right by, but get intercepted. And we'll get taken down. Not really much to see, though. Second gate. Are we going to go 3-gate? 3-gate ob? Doesn't look like it. Okay, probably just 2-gate ob. And we do have the second factory coming down. I'm trying to look in Barracks' base. I see a small building going down. Yep, right there. What's that? Academy? Oh, armory. All right, so very fast armory. It's already halfway done. So like 440 armory. Oh, that's not a second factory. That's an eBay. Okay, so very fast upgrades. So to me, this looks like he could be going for an extremely fast +1 timing. He could be going for an extremely fast 1-1 timing. Or we could be playing for a really fast 2-1 timing. So a lot of options here for Barracks. I like this build. I think on a map like Pantheon, this is most likely going to be a 5-fact timing with +1, especially since I know who the Terran player is. But we'll see what Barracks wants to do. He's got his turrets coming up. Actually has some relatively fast turrets. I guess it's because he didn't get to see when range completed. And I don't really think that this shuttle is going to... This is a scouting shuttle, by the way. But he does have support bake on the way also. Still only 2 factories. And I think there's just a Zealot, right? It's just a Zealot. Maybe not even a Zealot. Okay. So not sure what he was looking for. Maybe he was just trying to force out more turrets, but either way, Barracks was ready for it. We do have Snow in response. Now he's going to take a third Nexus. All right. So this game, I like his Nexus timing a lot better, assuming that the probe comes over here and builds it immediately. Oh, Starport. Okay, so really, really fast, +2. All right, that's going to be great. And there is the fast third Nexus for Snow. Siege mode set up. He's got tanks and glass. All right, so I ain't gonna lie, Barracks is in a fantastic position. Really good build order, great upgrades. I don't think that the Reaver's gonna do any damage, but at the same time, it's hard for me to believe that a Snow Reaver isn't gonna do any damage. But if he can take minimal losses here, he's gonna be set up pretty much perfectly for mid game. He's gonna have insane eco. Protoss does have a good third base timing, so that's great. But it is Pantheon. Like, you can push top middle while expanding to your mineral only, and potentially even expanding to top middle at the same time. So this is like a dream build order, in my opinion. I think all Barracks needs to be careful about is he doesn't have any intel onto what Snow is doing. For all he knows, Snow could have gone rangeless goons into Reaver, into Stargates. Now, +2 weapon is great versus Stargates, but if you missed your opportunity to attack, like let's say you could have attacked at 2 carriers, but instead you attack when they're 6, well, all of a sudden, obviously, you're in a nightmare scenario. So, okay, there we go. There's the Academy. I was going to say, hopefully you can get that Academy down pretty, because he does need to figure out what this is. Science facility is done. Means that +2 weapons should be on the way. That's going to be Citadel, right? Yep, Citadel. Okay. So everything to me looks like it's once again going to be shuttles with Templars. Double Reaver right outside of the natural, saying, "Come on, bro, move out and see what happens." Oh wow, Snow's actually going to try and just end this. Thought it's going to be more committed than that, but ends up backing off once he took down those Marines, and not going to get that Vulture. Great clutch move by the Dragoon there. Make sure that those don't get in. Great focus fire again, obviously. Always great focus fire. Vultures get into the third base. Again, the probe count is just so low, man. He didn't really even take that many probe losses. What was it, like 1 or 2? That's it? I don't know, Snow's just not his normal self. He's up in supply still, but it's really not that much. Barracks has 55 workers. Like his eco's crazy right now. I see a 5th fact coming down. Vultures are trying to find their opening, but not able to find it as they get denied by these Dragoons. Forge coming down, so Cannon's going to be on the way to defend this third base pretty soon. More gateways coming down, but was there a Templar Archive built? There's pylons. Okay, what is this? Is that 9 gate? I still don't see a Templar. Oh my gosh, he can't go Templar Archive because he doesn't even have his natural gas. I forgot that he's got a starport. Sieging that tank, how many kills can he get? Oh my gosh, you never pull him. Oh my god, down to 36. Holy smokes. That is a lot of damage. Well, if there's any time to put down like 2 more factories and just go for it, now's the time, man. You did insane damage. 12 probe kills. Also, you know this guy's not mining natural gas, so he can't have high-tech units. Like, there's no chance of carriers. There's no chance of arbiters. There's no chance of Templars. This is the time where you just go for it. All this guy can really have is Zealot Goon, probably heavily skewed towards the Zealots. You're going to have +2 weapon. You're going to have a ton of fact. You could probably even go 8 fact because you know that it's going to be mostly Zealots. Like 8 fact, just go with like 10 tanks and 100 vultures would probably just run him over. The drop going to come in. He's going for it. Ooh, did he overstep? I think he may have overstepped. Well, probably not the biggest of loss, but definitely didn't want to throw away units for free. Surprisingly, Snow has put down another Nexus, which is very, very ballsy, to say the least. Reaver going to save the day? No. Ends up losing a couple of Vultures and Dragoons there. Ooh. Right, looks like Aaron's actually going to expand towards that mineral only. Now, it is 12 minutes into the game. It was a very fast armory. He should have +2 by now. So maybe he is just waiting for +3. I mean, he can. It's fine. I don't really think he has to. There's 2 more factories, so that does put him up to 8. Gonna have immense firepower. He even catches the probe transfer. Oh my gosh. What was it, like 5 or 6 probes going down there? No way. Oh, he does catch them. Another probe, and another one, and another one. Really good harassment. And Barracks has closed the supply gap. It's 135 to 145. And wow, this is just going to be an easy base to get. Yeah, +2 is done, man. Armories are not spinning. Okay, so he is just sitting on +2. He spent all of his gas on his... Oh, I guess he just started it. All right, so he now starts +3. So +3, what is it, like 328 to finish? That means that we're looking at like a 16, 15 timing, if he wants to go for a +3 timing. Yeah, what does Protoss do here? Okay, well, that's one thing he can do. Shuttle bomb on top of these tanks. That's a gift. 3 tanks for free. That's nice. I like that. It's a Goliath or a Zealot. That's great, too. Get rid of all these high-tech units. Meanwhile, probe is at bottom right. Maybe thinking about putting it down a 5th base in just a second. Still think Protoss is in trouble, though. I really don't like his composition. Also don't like that he's basically maxed with no Templars and no high tier tech. No carriers, no arbiters. Yes, he does have the Reaver, but it's so hard to make work in the mid and late game. He's going to shut down this SCV, so that's going to be no base for you. But I don't even think Terran really should have expanded there. I think Terran should have expanded to top middle. So I really do think that once he pushes top middle, there's no way that Protoss can stop it. Well, here we go. Here's the move out. Lots of goons here. That's a big mine connection. Gets a lot of goons, actually. Reavers are still alive, though. They need to get off some good volleys onto these vultures. And, okay, that was great. But again, a big mine connection takes down a couple more goons. I can see that the Templars are out. Can he snipe them? There goes 1, 2... Oh, he ends up managing to save both of those. But 1.5 minutes away from the +3 power spike. And Terran's only at 160 supply, so I really do think he's going to wait for it. No Vulture doesn't get in and see the Nexus at bottom right. He knows that there's units there, so pretty much confirms that there's a base over there. Now, I'm curious what Protoss's upgrades are. If he has +2 weapon, he's got a chance. +1 is not good. He's going to get mauled. He better hope his +2 weapon power spike kicks in just a second. He needs to have the Dream Storm on top of these units. Oh, I feel like I'm watching like a Protoss versus Zerg. See this often, that happens so often once it gets to like late game PvZ where Protoss can't attack and they just bounce around the center of the map. But the problem is there's spider mines here and he can eat a lot of them probably. And look at that, bottom left, Barracks actually hit a base. I didn't even notice that he did that. Well, that's going to be a huge influx of resources for him, especially the gas, which is all Barracks really needs. Oh my gosh, here we go. +3, I was talking about it, +3, around 6:15. There it is. How close am I? What, 3 seconds off? This is a killer army. He needs Dream Storms. He needs to get a shuttle bomb on top of those mines. Barracks needs to make sure that when the shuttles come in, he needs to focus them down immediately, just like that. He EMP'd, so he only hits 1 storm. I don't even know how many more storms he has available. Okay, that's a good storm. Gets 3 tanks, or damages 3 tanks at least. He needs to have another connection here. That shuttle must be really low. I mean, he's shadowing it. very intently with those Goliaths. Okay, there we go. Now able to get off. That's great. Fantastic micro. Gets 3 tanks, but the problem is it's still a weak Protoss army versus an insanely upgraded Terran army with EMP. Oh, another EMP goes off, and that hits a ton of the army. Okay, here we go. This may actually be the last battle. Okay, the goons. Actually, they're getting through a lot of the tank. That was a really good trade for Protoss. Well, it was a great... Okay, that was actually a great trade for Terran, but I guess what I meant was it went better for Protoss than I thought it was going to. He took down a decent amount of tanks. Snow does have a lot more production than Terran, but Terran still has a massive amount of tanks left over. Does Protoss have +2? If he does, I mean, his army will be quite strong, but it's only +1. I mean, the +2 armor is going to be so ridiculously good. Oh, he sniped that Templar at the last second before he could get off the storm. Does get off one storm there to hit a lot of the tanks, but he's pushing through, and there's really not that much left over. You can see even at the rally point, there's not much left over. Oh my gosh, Barracks might win. In fact, I think Barracks did win. He's on the rally point, dude. There's a lot of gates at bottom right, but this base is going to die. There's no storms. That's a fresh Templar that just popped out. Oh, actually, there is one storm, but it was kind of a whiff. Look at how many goons just died. There's so many tanks. Oh my god, that is so many tanks. Once again, just like on the Deja Vu game, there's just so many tanks. Snow probably feels like if he survives, he's going to win because he killed mid-left, but he doesn't know that bottom left is up and running. And in fact, that's an SCV transfer. The Observer missed it. He's missed it completely. So he's probably thinking like, yeah, okay, you're going to kill the natural. Who cares? I still got mid-right. I've still got my mineral only at mid-right. I've still got bottom right. It's still, what, 4 base versus 1 base? But unbeknownst to him, it's actually 4 base versus 2, and this army's unstoppable. Supplies are incredibly close. He's just going to start killing goons as they pop out. Not sure what he just focused on right there, but these ultras are going to get in. No, there's not that many tanks. I think the goons can hold it. Ooh, maybe not, maybe not. There's no observer. Oh man, so much action going on at so many locations, bottom right and top right. Good shuttle bomb right there, but great D-Matrix, great pullback. Ends up actually killing all the Coons and Zealots at bottom right. I can't even believe that. But another huge SCV transfer down to bottom left. I'm sure Snow is probably wondering what's going on at this point. Or maybe not, actually. He's now cleared out mid-left. Well, those Reavers are still alive. Okay, so he clears that, but Terran's up 20 supply. What are these SCVs doing? I'm confused what the SCVs are doing. Maybe they're there to repair, but there's so many of them. Well, that was a huge mine connection. Hits a lot of the Dragoons, gets rid of the Templar. There's not much down here. And Protoss doesn't have an observer at his natural, so he doesn't know that the entire army is left. I think this is it. This is so... He still doesn't know that the whole army is left. He's microing his heart out with the Reavers. He gets another great connection onto, you know, all these tanks. But the Reavers can only buy so much time. He's sent everything. Storm. Get rid of 2 tanks. 2 tanks. 1. Okay. Great focus fire. Takes down one of the Templars. Another 2 tanks, maybe. Yep, they're gone. Supplies are back to even. Tank count is whittled down to basically nothing. Oh my gosh, but look at that rally. Oh my, it's so much stuff. There's so many units coming across the map. He's got to go. He's got to go before all these units get up together. Another couple of tanks are going to die. Reavers are still holding strong, man. They're doing what they should do. Needs to get connection onto these spider mines. Somehow Snow just avoids disaster every time he runs into these spider mines. How does he do it? But I can see on the minimap, the mineral only for Snow is mined out. So he's down to 3 base mining. Terran does now have mid left, so he's got 3 base mining also. Snow is shot up in supply massively, 180 to 140? How did that happen? Three Goliaths, though, are just so ridiculously strong in this position. The shuttle can't ever run in without fear of getting immediately picked off. Okay, well, I guess he can go in without fear now because it's 4 shuttles. Here we go. First one moves in. Does unload a decent amount of stuff. Is it enough, though? None of the Zealots triggered the mine, and both Templars get shot down. So many Vultures still left over. So many tanks still hanging on. Yeah, that's a mined out base. Tank is now in range of the Nexus. Another tank dies. But every time a tank dies, Preuss is making massive losses. Ooh, he realizes that he can't save it. He's going to transfer the probes, but... Oh, gosh, I think Barracks has done it. He's up 20 supply. Now Snow's trying to get weird with the like DT shenanigans, but there's mines over on the left side of the map that I'm sure he's going to intercept. Probes are going to try and long distance mine top middle, I guess. Yeah, the DT actually... I think that's a shuttle going to mid left, not a DT. So maybe that base can get shut down, but this base is dead. 40 supply lead now for Terran. Preuss is long distance mining his natural. Mid right is getting attacked at the same time. Mid left is under threat also, but he still doesn't know about bottom left. All right, that was lead off of a few tanks. That was a bit of a gift. But he doesn't even take down the command center. He's just moving in here, man. He missed the bottom left still with the shuttle. He's trying to come back with his Reaver, and he misses that base completely. And if he can get a couple of tank shots onto the probe, yeah, like every single probe is down here almost, except for those ones at top at the natural long distance mining. A couple of Artosis pylons here. If he can focus down the pylons, there would be no production. I think the Reaver's going to clear off the mines, but look at the supply now. It's 100 to 150. Snow's like just barely mining. There's not even that many tanks. It's just that there's so many Vultures. Dude, we got to get a click on those Reavers. Like, we got to look at the kill count. Like, how many kills do they have? Every time I look at the shuttle, I'm like, they can't possibly still be alive, but they are. Are those the same 2 Reavers? Look at Snow's money now, though. He had like 700, 600 minerals consistently, but now it's just like 100, 200. I think this is the beginning of the end. Desperately trying to hold bottom right. Those Reavers unload. It's triple Reaver, in fact. One of them finally dies. I'm sure that guy had like 40 kills or something insane. Oh, that guy got taken down instantly also. Now how many are left? I mean, it's just one, right? Endless amounts of units. A good mine drag, but in the end it still wasn't enough. That was great. Just no things. 3 tanks for 2 goons. And he saves the Reaver. Lost that one. And I think that's it. Like, the only reason Snow's not tapping out here is it's his last game. He doesn't have any more Reavers. He's basically not mining. He's gas starved, by the way. He can't build any really powerful units anymore, other than Dragoons. Oh man. Okay, that tank died, or that goon died. Saved some probes, but that base is dead. There's a white dot at bottom right, by the way. I'm not sure if there's like a vulture there just shelling away at the probe line or if that's a mine or what that is, but there's the GG. And I got the score right, 3-1, but this was not who I was expecting to win. Barracks played exceptionally well today, and he's going to take down probably the favorite of the tournament, right? Especially since Snow has won back-to-back in Season 1 and Season 2. So Barracks, wow, if he wins versus Snow, this has got to be a massive confidence booster for him for the rest of the tournament. Let's take a look at the bracket, right? So now I'm curious, like, how this bracket could potentially go. All right, we've got Barracks versus JYJ. I think JYJ is a master at TVT, so I think this is going to be particularly hard. But let's say that Barracks gets through JYJ. Is there anyone here? I'm looking at, like, potential opponents here. Movie, Hero, Royal, and Beast. I mean, I think it's just so likely that it's going to be Hero and Royal that get through, right? And then you have Hero or Royal in the round of 4. And it seems like Barracks' best matchup is Terran versus Protoss, so it kind of seems unfortunate that he's not going to really get any Protosses here. I kind of wish he was in the bottom side now because he would have had Sins or Mini or Motive, right? This would have been the dream lineup for him to get all Protosses because of how well he's playing versus Protoss. But either way, he played out of his frickin' mind today. He deserved to win. He had great build order, great execution. Like I said, Snow just felt a little off. Like, other than the last game on Pantheon, everything felt slow. Remember his Deja Vu game, 12 Nexus. Supplies are pretty close. His third Nexus is at 8 minutes. I'm like, how is this so slow after you go 12 Nexus? Also, remember, he shut down the drop immediately. So he could have just expanded instantly. But, I don't know. Snow just wasn't his day. Obviously, his Reavers and Goon Control was amazing. Always are. But he's gone. Round of 16. That's crazy. So that is going to be it today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Our next matchup is going to be Movie versus Hero. Obviously, I think Hero's going to be dominating that. But hey, Movie's got some crazy build orders. We could see an upset. If you do like the content brought to you by StarCastTV, definitely consider becoming a Patreon supporter. And if you want to just support another way, you can also support by just hitting that subscribe button on YouTube. And I look forward to seeing you next week.